Hey guys, welcome back to another review video. Today we're looking at the Ergo Comfort Grips for the ASUS ROG Ally Z1 Extreme, but I think this also fits the normal ROG Ally. And this is from a company called Breed Gaming. Now, they sent me an email asking if they can send me this for review, and I said yes in exchange for the product, but all thoughts are my own, and I'm gonna be reviewing this as if I spent my own money on it. So the box is pretty straightforward. It just has obviously the grip inside, but on the back and front, it has some information on it, and essentially this is supposed to give you better ergonomics for the ROG Ally. Now I have my ROG Ally right here. And the ROG Ally, I've never really had too much of an issue holding it, especially if it's palm down. But when you go palm up, it is a pretty thick device in terms of weight. It's very dense, especially if you do a battery swap like I did, so it's even heavier now. So I'm wondering if these can alleviate the pressure I feel. Because usually when I hold it, I'll go here, but then sometimes I'll have to put my pinkies underneath or really grip the back and pull it just so my hand's gonna break. So let's go ahead and take these out and see how they look. So if you go on the Breed website, you'll see that these are being sold for about $15, which is a pretty fair price. I'm not sure if they're 3D printed. Maybe we'll be able to tell from the quality. So again, pretty straightforward packaging. We have everything right here. This looks to be a spudger type tool to actually put things on or take them off. And it looks like we have both sides right here. So let's take it out. And this definitely does look, it has a nice finish to it. I'm not sure if it's 3D printed. I'm sure everything these days are. But it has a clip design. So if we were to look at both sides, you see there's a receiving clip right here, and then there's the clip that it's gonna actually go into. So let's take both out. I didn't ask for tutorial on installation. I think I'm a big boy, so I can figure it out. This seems to be the right side right here. And this will go ahead and clamp onto the edges. There we go. Click into place. Click into place. And well, that's on. They're all clicked into place. Okay, and just from a side profile, this is the thickness you're expecting, or you should be expecting. So fairly thin with the stock grips. These are adding a pretty big area to grab onto, and just wow, just grabbing it now, it feels a lot more comfortable. And I'm not just saying that, this actually does feel like a controller rather than a half whatever this is. I know the Ally X created more of a curvature here. This definitely feels more comfortable, and you still have access to shoulder and trigger. It definitely feels weird that this is here, even when you pull the trigger down. You still have the full length of the pull, but you bottom out at the bottom. So it should take some getting used to. The B button is still accessible, but again, if you are pressing down like here, sometimes I press with the whole part of my thumb. So if I were to press down here, I am hitting this case before I hit the actual button, but it's not too bad. This all would just take getting used to. And then let's go ahead and put the other side on. So we'll go ahead and snap them. I'm not sure if there's an order for this, but essentially you're just going around and securing it. There we go. And that seems to be secure there. And here is the fully gripped out ROG Ally. This feels, it doesn't add much weight at all, but it definitely feels like a chunkier boy. There's two things I want to do. One, I want to see how easy it is to take this off. And then two, I also want to see if this is still able to fit in the case that I got for it. Hopefully it is, because that would suck if it's not. Oh, they even have a little vent cut out here. That's nice. That's actually a good detail. You have not blocking any vents here, and then here you have little slits cut to match up with the existing vent. So thumbs up to Breed for that. I think the best way to do this is just kind of find a spot and go in. Well, I know there's clips here. Okay, so I know there's clips on the bottom and the top, so I think a good way to do it, and let's see realistically if we can do it without this, because when I'm traveling, I'm not gonna have it. So if you just lift up on the front, it should give you enough leverage to then lift up on the rest. And let's do the same here. I think this one you lift up on the back. There we go. So we have that there. I'm not too sure how everything else clipped in, but I think we're just trying to make space. This would be a good thing to pay attention to in the future, just to know how the clips are put together. let's use the spudger for now. So we have the spudger, and we just pop that out right there. So this one looks like it clips in as well. Nice, okay. No breaking, which is nice. And then we have it off. So I'm not too sure if you're taking this on and off constantly, not too sure how these clips right here will do. Because once these clips are out, you're kind of doing some structural damage. So I would be very careful taking this apart. If you do have a thin prying device, that's probably the best way to do it, and just work the angles from there rather than just twisting and breaking it off. Okay, so we know how that looks. Let's go ahead and plop it back on. And I also feel like the more you wear out the plastic, the easier it'll get to pop on and off. But it's nice that it's secure. So right here, we have a generic device case. I guess this works for anything really, but this is pretty chunky and I wanna see if it works for this. With the ROG Ally, it fits in pretty flush. With the case, this is a pretty good sign. The face covering still fits over, and then this still zips in pretty nicely. And my concern is the thumbstick, but as you can see here, as long as you don't put anything in here, you still have a good amount of space for the thumbstick. So I'm not worried about that getting damaged or anything. So we zip this up, and there we go. Some extra protection for when you're traveling with the ROG Ally. So this definitely passes the travel case test. It's gonna depend on the case that you have. The case that I have works, and well, I'm not traveling with your case, I'm traveling with mine. But this isn't a case review, this is a grip review. Let's go ahead and power on the Ally and see how it feels in game. We are in now, and I can say that this is fairly comfortable. I just got rocked, huh? I feel like the shoulder buttons definitely take some getting used to, because again, naturally, my finger usually rests on the edge and then I press down. This one, you have to be a little bit more purposeful and hit it with the top of your finger. So I know it's necessary for the structure of it, but if this was a little bit slimmer, it would be a little bit more, I want to say helpful or easier to press the shoulder button. I don't know if they're planning a V2, but that would definitely help. But then again, I don't have big hands. I would say I have medium-sized hands. So if you have larger hands, this is definitely more comfortable. But overall, it's still good to, how do you cover? It's still good to get some grip onto things. And this is me just playing with my hand propped, which is usually not too difficult to do in the first place. When you start seeing issues is when you, not me being distracted. What usually makes my hands tired is when I'm holding it or I'm laying on my back and playing it. And one thing that I wanted to show as well, I'm just reading the website, this thing works as a 70-degree stand. So we place it down here and it stands up. I guess that's 70. I don't know. I wouldn't say that's 70. If this is 90, I don't know. I don't do math like that. But pretty good. Yeah, so some other things about this case. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's on the Breed website. You can just look up Breed Gaming, and this does work for the Z1 Extreme and the Z1. And I think it's only $15, which isn't bad. I haven't looked at too many grip cases for the ROG Ally on Amazon, but for $15, you can't really go wrong here with a built-in kickstand. The fact that they took attention to making fan cutouts is definitely good too, because the last thing you want to do is limitate the airflow of a handheld PC. So playing the game feels good. I would say the thing that's impacted the most is definitely the shoulder buttons. Triggers are still good. Face buttons, you know, depends on where your hands are. But because you have this big area to put the meat of your palm, you can adjust however you need. And I was expecting this edge right here on the sides to kind of cut into your hand, but you really don't feel it when you're sliding up and down. It feels pretty smooth, unless you don't snap it all the way in. Then I can see that gap being annoying. But again, that's a skill issue. And let's do one last test of taking the case off. We have a spudger here. 1, 2. And we got that side, just small twisting motions just to get some space in between. And there we go. It's really just these hoops that you don't want to break. Those are the ones that are going in between and securing on the little cutouts here. All right, guys, that was just a quick little review. I haven't done that many item reviews in a while, especially if it's an accessory. I usually make a short of it, but because they sent me this. I felt like it was, not a big deal to show you guys. And this is comfortable enough that I actually might be using it in my day-to-day when I start using the Ally. So if you guys see this in future gameplay videos, that's why. They even have cutouts out here. But again, thank you to Breed for sending this out. You can't really go wrong with the grip. There isn't much to fix. But if you were to make improvements and potentially hear my opinion, I would smooth some things out. That way people with smaller hands can have easier access to some of the buttons and triggers. But other than that, everything's pretty good with this. I guess disassembling could be a little easier. I would like to be a little more confident in taking it apart with my hands without it snapping, but that does mean it's secure and you don't need a spudger. You can use, I wouldn't use a car key because that would scratch this, but I don't know, a card, something, you decide. You're an adult. I'm not making that decision for you. If you guys like the video, drop a like. If you want to see more videos in the future, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.